It's honestly a little hard to believe that the Switch 2 has been out for over a year already. When it first launched, people questioned whether Nintendo had done enough. Some people called it a glorified Switch Pro, others thought the launch lineup was too safe, and plenty of people wondered what the system sellers would be. Fast forward 12 months and that conversation has completely changed. Nintendo has built one of the strongest first-year exclusive lineups they've had in years. Some classic franchise IPs have returned, entirely new pieces have emerged, and we've seen some of the most ambitious games Nintendo has ever developed. So today I'm ranking what I think are the 5 best Nintendo Switch 2 exclusives so far. Let's get started. Coming in at number 5 is Mario Kart World. This placement is probably going to upset some people, and that's totally understandable. But Mario Kart World is still one of the best racing games Nintendo has ever made. The biggest addition is obviously the interconnected world. Instead of simply jumping from menu to menu, you're free to drive across one massive map filled with shortcuts, challenges, collectibles, and races. It gives the game a completely different feel compared to previous entries. Knockout Tour is also one of the best multiplayer modes Nintendo has ever introduced in the game. 24 racers all battling to avoid elimination creates some absolutely hilarious moments. Every race feels chaotic and somehow it still manages to feel fair most of the time. The driving itself has also never been smoother. Drifting feels incredible, the new movement options add a surprising amount of depth, and every course is packed with little details that make exploring worthwhile. So why is it only number 5? Honestly, Mario Kart Deluxe 8 spoiled us. After years of updates and nearly 100 tracks, Mario Kart World has an impossible job. While World introduces some fantastic ideas, I don't think every experiment lands. The open world is fun, but it can occasionally feel underutilized, and I still find myself missing some of Mario Kart 8's iconic tracks. It's an amazing game, don't get me wrong. It just happens to be competing against some even stronger Switch 2 exclusives. Coming in at number 4 is the 2026 Star Fox remake. After almost a decade of waiting, Fox McCloud is finally back. Nintendo did kind of play it safe here, but they've gave us exactly what us fans have been wanting. Fast missions, arcade-style replayability, tight controls, massive cinematic boss fights. It finally feels like the proper evolution of Star Fox 64. Flying through asteroid fields, weaving between enemy cruisers, and hearing Slippy immediately get himself into trouble somehow never gets old. What surprised me the most was the amount of variety. Some missions focus entirely on dogfighting, others have you exploring massive planets, then there are the gigantic fleet battles that genuinely make you feel like you're part of an intergalactic war. The story isn't revolutionary, but Star Fox has never needed Oscar-worthy writing. The gameplay is absolutely why people play these games, and Nintendo nailed it here. Hopefully we never have to wait another decade for another one. Coming in at number 3 is Pokopia. This might actually be Nintendo's biggest surprise hit of the generation. Before release, I honestly didn't know what to expect. Now, I've sunk way more hours into Pokopia than I care to even imagine. It combines life simulation, exploration, town building, and Nintendo's signature charm into something that feels incredibly relaxing. There's always something meaningful to do. Upgrade your town, meet new characters, customize your home, unlock new areas, find hidden secrets. It's one of those dangerous games where you sit down thinking you'll play for 30 minutes, and suddenly, it's 2 in the morning. The pacing is excellent because the game is constantly rewarding your curiosity. It's a cozy game without becoming boring, relaxing without becoming repetitive. It may not appeal to every Nintendo fan, but if you're someone who enjoys games you can slowly chip away at over the months, Pokopia is an easy recommendation. Coming in at number 2 is the latest game to release, and that's Splatoon Raiders. This is the game that finally convinced me Splatoon could be more than just a multiplayer shooter. For years, Splatoon had incredible gameplay but always felt somewhat limited by its focus. Raiders changes that. Nintendo expanded the universe in ways I honestly wasn't expecting. The campaign feels far more ambitious, the environments are bigger, the exploration is rewarding, combat introduced some mechanics that simply wouldn't work inside of competitive multiplayer. You still have the ink-based movement everybody loves, but now you're solving puzzles, discovering hidden areas, upgrading equipment, and taking on massive enemies that feel more like Zelda bosses than traditional Splatoon encounters. What impressed me most was the world building. For the first time, it feels like Nintendo really wants Splatoon to stand alongside Zelda, Mario, and Animal Crossing as one of its premier franchises. If Raiders is the direction they're taking the series, I'm completely on board. Coming in at number 1 at the top spot is Donkey Kong Bonanza. This isn't just my favorite Switch 2 exclusive, it's one of my favorite Nintendo games in years. Donkey Kong Bonanza perfectly captures what makes Nintendo so special. Every level introduces a brand new idea. Just when you think you've mastered one mechanic, the game completely changes things. Movement feels incredible in this game. Smashing through environments never stops being satisfying. The platforming constantly surprises you with hidden routes, clever puzzles, and creative level design. There's an infectious sense of fun that reminds me of a classic like Super Mario Odyssey. Nintendo isn't afraid to throw away ideas after one level if it means the experience stays fresh. That's something very few developers are willing to do. Bonanza never overstays its welcome. It never really becomes repetitive. And it constantly rewards players for experimenting instead of simply following the obvious path. It's creative, it's polished, it's endlessly charming, and for me, it's the game that truly defines the Switch 2's first year. So those are my 5 favorite Switch 2 exclusives after the console's first year. But that's just my list. And I know there's probably going to be at least one game you're already yelling at your screen because I ranked it too low or left it on completely. And I'm going to have to update this list after Fire Emblem and Ocarina of Time come out later this year. But anyways, let me know what your top 5 are down in the comments. I'm genuinely curious to know where everybody's favorite lands after we've had a full year with the Switch 2. So please do let me know. I'd love to hear from you guys. As usual, guys, I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the summer, and we're getting so close to that point. I think I only really have 150 more left until I can apply for monetization. So thank you guys. Thank you to all the new subs. I appreciate you guys so much. But again, if you do like these videos, please be sure to drop a like and consider subscribing. It really does help me out so much and keeps me on track. I've got a lot more Ocarina stuff on the way. So that stuff is coming as usual. You can expect that if you sub for that. I have a few new theory videos coming out shortly, so be on the lookout for that, as well as a bunch of tier lists and top 10s that I have planned coming up for the rest of the year. And as soon as Ocarina drops, I'm probably going to be shifting to covering that game exclusively and just kind of picking that game apart and theorizing and just delving into the game as much as I possibly can for all the Ocarina fans out there. But yeah, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. More videos to come, and until next time, guys, this has been Matt from Top Tier. I'm out. Bye.